Welcome back. Now, after the break, we will be listening to the last but not least presentation, Volunreach from Vancouver.
Have you ever wondered why people volunteer or why it is a graduation requirement in high schools? Well, volunteering allows students to give back and connect with their communities. So I sat down one day to look for volunteer opportunities to fulfill my graduation requirements, as any high schooler would. But I found myself searching for hours, looking for placements that both interested me and that I was qualified for. So I started to wonder, what if there was a platform which allowed me to effectively connect with those opportunities? This way, millions of other high schoolers wouldn't have to go through the same struggle that I did. So the solution, Volunreach. We effectively connect students with their communities through volunteering. Volunreach is a platform that networks high school students to obtain meaningful volunteer opportunities. But first, I would like you to meet the team. I'm Christina Wang, I'm the CEO. We have Estelle, the COO, and Lisa, the CMO.
Thank you, Christina. Volunreach is conceived as a one-stop volunteering hub for both the organization looking to secure volunteers as well as students who seek volunteer experience. After consulting with a customer, we decided to partner with school board directly to promote our app. As we work for our clickable prototype, we update it based on feedback we collected in user testing. For example, incorporate the profile feature in our app. Our app is easy to use. Students can sign in with their school email and manage their volunteer activities all in one app. They can browse opportunities in their local area that are tailored to their interests. Upon completing the voluntary work, students will receive our certificates as well as testimonials from organizations or companies. This makes finding volunteers opportunities more efficient and effective. As for the registered organization, we first check over government documents such as WorkSafe BC. Next, we will conduct an on-site background check for a third-party organization to accommodate student safety and policy requirements. Once those procedures are completed, organization can post volunteer opportunities on Volunreach for students to view and sign up. We will also direct the students from each school board to help mitigate some of the risks for companies. Organizations agree that joining as a member is beneficial, not only for them to find student volunteers, but also gain brand recognition.
We decided to target three main customers, which can be broken down into students, school boards, and organizations. Firstly, we partner with school boards, who will pay for their students to connect through Volunreach. However, only students and paying organizations are users of the app. After conducting over 120 surveys and collecting over 200 survey responses from students across North America, we had identified the pain points, such that 91% wanted to contribute to the communities but weren't sure where to start. As a result, we found that over 95% wanted a platform to connect them to meaningful volunteer opportunities. Jasmine Chen, a grade 10 student, said that having one place where she can be connected with her interests will be so much more efficient for her. In order for organizations to reach students, school boards play a vital role in promoting Volunreach. School boards have expressed their difficulties in bridging the connection between students and their communities, as they simply don't have the time or the ability to do so. We have been able to reach out to 7 different school boards with a network of over 120,000 high school students. After talking to Ms. Chapinski from Delta School Board, she has highlighted the importance of this transferable skill. Finding placements can be especially challenging, so being able to connect students to organizations will be extremely valuable. Organizations have been able to market their volunteer opportunities to students. We will have currently received 1 letter of intent, as well as 14 others who have expressed their interest and need for Volunreach. Among the organizations we have contacted, all different types ranging from healthcare to education. On the Canadian level, some organizations include the Canadian Cancer Society, Newmarket Public Libraries, and the Royal Ontario Museum. On the international end, we have online options like distributed proofreaders and in-person options like the American Red Cross. As per our sticky factor, we're currently in contact with the Canadian government and scholarship organizations. This way, students will be able to work towards scholarships even after completing their hours.
Having interviewed 120 individuals, we now have a sizable sample of the student user market, and the potential reaches about 21.9 million students. Moreover, we have about 290 school boards in Canada and over 17,000 school boards around North America. It is important to keep in mind community service hours will always be valuable because of the experience learned from volunteering. We also have an extensive market of businesses and organizations. Around 502 million businesses around the globe, 32.5 million businesses in North America, and 1.23 million businesses in Canada. Our two lovely high school students, Jim and Anna, value community involvement but don't know where to start. They worry that they can't obtain the needed community service hour in order to graduate, and they're looking for a safe, efficient, and secure solution to their problem. Originally, we wanted to use a website to endorse our service. However, we decided to pivot from a website to an app after validating student opinion and analyzing competitors. Students prefer to use apps because they are easily accessible, whereas websites are often tailored toward professional use. For organizations, they express the complication of a website like the IT team, so they also found an app would be the most useful. Lastly, the differentiating factor of Volunreach is the fact that we are able to directly reach students through school boards. Students have not been able to effectively do volunteer work because school boards don't have any system in place for us to do so. With Volunreach, students will be able to find volunteer opportunity within the education system. During the beginning stages, we directly outreach to school boards through emails and phone calls. Because school boards are not competitive with one another, they tend to share information when we provide a solution for them. By closely contacting the 7 school boards that have already shown interest, we will be able to catch this market when they refer us to other school boards, and we are confident that this process will eventually snowball. Moreover, by collaborating with school boards, we will be able to reach organizations that the school boards already visit. By partnering with organizations like Small Business BC, which has connection with a range of businesses, we can gain the attention of business users. Furthermore, we will be advertising our apps to online sources such as Google Ads, Instagram Ads, and YouTube. We will also be performing SEO to increase engagement and make it easy for customers to reach us. After we have built our brand and gained users, we will closely monitor feedback, comment, and traffic.
Our two main sources of revenue come from school boards and partnered organizations. For school board, the price that we are asking is $6,000 per year for using our service. As school boards are operated in a non-competitive environment, our product is scalable among the market. After speaking to school board, the amount that they spend on sending teachers out for work experience placement is far higher than what we are asking. We have already validated with several school boards that they are willing to pay for our service. Our second customers are companies and organizations. We offer a $128 annual subscription plan for partner organizations. This plan provides a reliable solution for organizations on finding student volunteers and connecting with the community. Our recurring revenue model ensures that we are a sustainable and profitable business. As we continue to develop, we are looking into providing other premium services to grow and develop our business. The plan for Volunreach over the next few years is to primarily expand the brand to accommodate more students. By the end of 2021, we plan to launch the app and sell our product to the first group of school boards and organizations. By 2022, we will triple the number of users. By year 3, we will expand internationally and reach the over 1 million students at the end of year 5.
Most of Volunreach's expenses will be towards developers, marketing, and the cost of third-party companies to run background checks. But as you can see, the revenue grows at a steady rate, reaching over $5 million by the end of year 5. What is most notable on the slide is how Volunreach is able to break even and earn a profit in year 2. A healthy growth rate is depicted as the company continues to expand. So, what are we asking of you? We value your connections with companies and businesses. Since Volunreach is built on the importance of community, we find it valuable that you contribute by introducing and registering your companies with Volunreach. In return, you will receive a place on our board of advisors. Our board of advisors have mentors who are very knowledgeable in the tech industry, as well as school board representatives. We've also contacted those of for and nonprofit organizations. So let's work together to give students the platform to connect with the communities through volunteering. Thank you for your time.
All right, that was a great video. Sorry for there were some technical difficulties and we skipped over the elevator pitch and went to the video pitch. So we'll just start the elevator pitch now. Take it away, Christina.
Volunteering is proven to be the best way for you to get involved in your community. 91% of students found it difficult to find volunteer work, while organizations like the American Red Cross, Canadian Cancer Society, nonprofits, and even libraries and museums spend thousands of dollars on marketing each year in hopes of attracting volunteers. Volunreach is a one-stop hub connecting students and organizations in the most efficient way possible. We start with students. How do we reach them? By making Volunreach the official app endorsed by school boards. We also sell to organizations, but what's in it for them? Well, they have a chance to market and publicize their brand to the next generation. 95% of students have said they would use the app. Volunreach has gained the attention of school boards and received letters of intent from organizations. We are Volunreach, connecting students to organizations to find meaningful volunteer opportunities.
All right, thank you for your elevator pitch and the video pitch. Next, we'll be taking a live Q&A session, and we'll be starting with JT Vaughn.
Hey, great job, especially on the 60-second pitch. That was fantastic. You hit the highlights and great summary. So I'm a little skeptical of your customer base, meaning their willingness to pay, school boards and organizations or nonprofit organizations. What do you have in the way of traction to demonstrate that they will pay and how much they will pay for this type of product?
I'll take this question. So yes, we have validated with the school boards and the organizations. On the school board end, when discussing with them, we originally charged $10,000, but we decided to pivot to $6,000 after conducting this validation. This way, we can incorporate more school boards at a more affordable price. And in terms of organizations, we've also conducted the willingness to pay there. Through our letter of intent, we have shown that the price that we're asking, $120, is a good price. We also sent out a survey to them indicating which price range they would like. So we asked from 50 to 80, 100 to 150, and 200 plus. And the overwhelming response was that they wanted it priced between 100 and 150. So we decided on the 128.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll be taking a question from Vipin Ramani.
Hey, fantastic cause. I think it's much needed. Mike, a couple of questions. One to follow up on JT's, right? Have you thought about alternative sources of income or revenue sources? Because I agree with JT. I think the benefit is more on the organizations that are going to benefit, somewhat limited or muted on the school boards, which are always cash strapped. So have you thought about alternative models, business model?
Yes, we have. For the school boards, we recognize that they are usually under a tight budget. Therefore, we decided to lower the price to $6,000. On the organizations and on our financial slides, it shows that most of our income, the majority of income, is from organizations. since we have a large number of organizations, we are able to retrieve most of our income from there. We've also thought about charging students directly for people who are not associated with the school board. However, we decided against that as school boards want to control and safe environments, knowing where the students are volunteering at. And on the organization end, they want to make sure that these students are reliable and they're verified as real students. Therefore, we decided to stick with school boards and primarily organizations as our revenue model.
Excellent, thanks. As a follow-up to that, any risks or challenges that you feel in this model?
Within the model, there are mitigated risks. However, our biggest risk is the liability of students on the school board end. After discussing with multiple school boards, their biggest risk factor are the student safety. Therefore, we have implemented a 3-step process. The first being checking government documents. For example, in BC, it's WorkSafe BC or the Ministry of Health for Ontario in Canada. And from there, we conduct our own third-party organization company to run background checks on each organization to ensure that they are, in fact, a real and verified organization. This way, it mitigates the risk for the school boards.
Excellent. Thank you.
Next, we'll be taking a question from Ms. Chitra.
Hi, very good job, guys. I really like the energy and I feel like you are all passionate about the topic. So it kind of came through. So well done. In terms of, you had that slide of competition analysis and ticks and school board is a big plus that you guys are focusing on. Have you looked at the revenue model that the competition follow? Is that 120 that you mentioned is something similar that other institutions or other organizations which are doing similar work are doing? Just a little bit more on how you looked at the other business model followed by competition and came to your own.
For that, are we able to pull up our appendix slides? We have a slide dedicated to that.
Yes.
So would you be able to pull up really quickly? Well, as she's doing that, we have assessed our prices in comparison to our competitors. The first being My Blueprint, which is notorious for its career and ability to plan students' futures. They are approximated at $16,000. For the organization end, we compared against a few other companies who are priced at the similar price ranges as we are. However, for them, we are a huge incentive as we can drive down their marketing prices. Moreover, we are able to publicize to a younger generation, being us students.
I see. No, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, and finally, Judge Vineet Parikh.
Hi. My question is also related to some other solutions available out there. Have you looked at other freelancing apps like Upwork or Freelancer that don't charge anything and they just charge a commission on the work that is actually got done, and how and I'm sure some of that are already working in this space as of today. So how would you compare yourself against that?
Well, for us, we are targeting high school students. The problem that we found as students is that there are no platforms for us that are targeted towards us. They're mostly for professional use. Therefore, we decided that Volunreach is a platform made by students for students. This way, that the school boards and the schools are able to understand the process that their own students go through in order to connect with their community. For Fiverr and Upwork, they're mostly for a business perspective. From this is a way of portraying a public image and being able to connect the community and relate with one another through the use of networking platforms like Volunreach.
All right, thank you very much, Vancouver team. Next, we'll be taking just 5 minutes for judging and scoring.